Hey there, everyone. So, in my last Arcane Theory video, I sort of went into talking about how there's a sort of potentially broken mechanic with the Acanthus and their time magic when you, like, really focus on building an Acanthus even at its earliest level. If you just go in as Acanthus as possible, you go time 3, fate 2, and then whatever else. And you can really sort of, from the get-go, you might be able to break the game as long as you're willing to, as long as you can be personable enough with your storyteller and get them on side as to why maybe you should be allowed to do this thing, even though you really, really shouldn't. But this time I want to go into something really weird, really kind of unique with the Mastigos. And specifically, this is a connection between the Mastigos and vampires. But before going into that, I sort of need to lay some groundwork. So, I previously played this character named Dr. Goodfeels. Dr. Goodfeels was a scientist who worked with a vampire named Dr. Fellows. And now, Goodfeel was not a very ethical doctor at this point. They were looking for a way to cure the soul of a vampire. Dr. Fellows wanted to maintain his vampirism, but be rid of the insatiable hunger. Or they wanted to figure out how to control it, and they figured this was a thing you could do because Dr. Goodfeels could get into the minds of people and tug at those things that were very specific to trauma. He was a Goetia summoner, and so they started experimenting with vampires. Now, for those who don't know, Goetia are sort of your inner demons. These, if you want a good shorthand, really high skills, any sort of obsessions or flaws, and potentially a central Goetia representing willpower or self, are all sorts of Goetia an individual person can have. If you have a condition like addiction, that's probably a Goetia. And this is a sort of a shorthand for storytellers to use. There's no real hard and fast in the books about what a Goetia can be, but I tend to go with conditions. If you dig deep enough into a person's internal maze, you can possibly get to the subsumed willpower. You can also get to, if you use the doors system, sort of objectives which have been accomplished in the past might still be there as Goetia, and I think that's a really good way of rewarding players who use the doors system, specifically if they're a mind mage. But what our question then mechanically to the storyteller was, is the beast a Goetia? So the beast in vampire is that part of the vampire that drives them to keep feeding. I had a vampire character at one point who focused on the beast. They have an ability called Ride the Wave that gives them more strength and more ability to feed when they embrace that animalistic nature. And so you get you have this vampire who's like stark mad, but is super powerful. And there's like a thing with the Ordo Dracul that really digs into it again, increasing the power of the beast. And there are a couple of traits, whatever they're called, like the feet, like things, I don't remember. But that once again double down on that, and when you ride the wave, you can like really become this animalistic creature, completely bent on destroying everything. And Dr. Fellows wanted to learn how to take that isolate it, and pull it out. And so Dr. Goodfellows and Dr. Fellows were like experimented on vampires for a really long time, just figuring out, okay, is there a serum we can give them to isolate this thing? If I put the vampire to sleep ahead of time, can you go into its mundus and really sort of jigger around in there to tempt the beast out? If you attempt to mind control a vampire and then go into the mundus, can you pull the beast out that way? And I think that it's a really interesting sort of interaction. I think that the Mastigos vampire interaction, the Mastigos spirit interaction in general is really fascinating. And so it's a question you as a storyteller might want to take into account is, what is the beast? What is the dirge and doom, it might be? What are those to the vampire? Are they Goetia? Can they be taken out? And if the beast is a Goetia, let's say it's your subsumed will type Goetia, where you have the beast and the individual lashed to one another inside. If you pull out the beast, what happens then? I don't know. But I think it's a really fun question. I think it's a really important interaction for any Mastigos player who plans on interacting with vampires and Goetia. I also think it's a particularly important question for a storyteller who wants to think about their game a little more philosophically. So, my question here is actually for you to comment. What is the beast? Is it a Goetia? What parts of a vampire are brand new Goetia, or are they all part of this greater outside force known as the Dark Mother, which is addressed in Beast? Let me know down in the comments, and if you liked this question, go ahead and give it a like. It was a little bit weird. I really enjoy thinking about this one in particular. I'm a huge fan of overthinking everything. So if you are, maybe also subscribe to the channel then. And maybe share this with any friends who are fans of vampires or fans of Mage, even. And maybe sort of together as a community, or I actually fairly specifically don't want Onyx Path to answer this question. I don't want to see White Wolf Publishing answer this question, because I think the ambiguity is what makes vampires and mages so damn fascinating. But in the meantime, I'm Alex from 10 again, and have a good day.